Today, we're talking about something huge. Literally. China's new supercarrier, the Fujian. And let me tell you, this isn't just another ship. It's a total game changer, one that could seriously reshape the balance of power on the high seas. So on November 5th, 2025, China officially brought the Fujian into service. And you gotta understand, this wasn't just some ceremony for a new boat. Nope, this was a signal, a major statement to the entire world that China's military technology has taken a massive leap forward. Right, so let's get right into it. What's all the fuss about? What makes this 80,000-ton beast so different from everything China has ever built before? It's not just that it's bigger, it's about what's under the hood that really matters. And the answer? Really, it all boils down to one piece of incredible technology, EMALS. That's short for Electromagnetic Aircraft Launch System. Think of it like a giant magnetic slingshot for fighter jets. And get this, it's the same super advanced tech that the US Navy uses on its latest and greatest carrier, the USS Gerald R. Okay, but here's where the story gets really interesting. Because how the US and China got to this point with this exact same technology, well, they're two completely different tales. It's a fascinating study in strategy, politics, and some pretty big risks. You can see the split right here. On one side, you've got the United States. They pioneered EMALS, but man, they ran into all sorts of headaches, years of reliability issues, even getting called out publicly. On the other side, you have China. They watched all this, and instead of going through the same steps, they just skipped one. A huge, high-stakes gamble to jump straight to the most advanced system, completely bypassing the older steam catapults. And make no mistake, this wasn't some decision made by a committee of engineers. This came from the very top. China's Ministry of National Defense went on the record to say that President Xi himself made the call. He's the one who decided to ditch the original steam catapult plan and go all in on EMALS. That's a huge statement.
So why does this one piece of tech matter so much? Well, for a bunch of reasons. With EMALS, the Fujian can launch heavier, more powerful aircraft. We're talking stealth fighters and the big, crucial early warning planes that act as the eyes and ears of the fleet. It's also a smoother ride for the jets, which means less wear and tear. Plus, you can dial the power in precisely, which is perfect for launching all sorts of aircraft. And this is key. It's absolutely crucial for launching the drones of the future.
Now, this jump in tech is pretty wild on its own, but when you look at the timeline, it becomes just staggering. The speed at which China has gone from having no carriers to building a supercarrier is unbelievable. This isn't just taking the next logical step, it's a full-blown revolution for their Navy. Think about it like this. Just over a decade ago, in 2012, their first carrier was basically a hand-me-down Soviet Hulk they had to finish building themselves. Then, by 2019, they'd built their own, the Shandong, but it was still based on that old ski jump design. And now, a totally new ship, designed and built in China with some of the most advanced naval tech on the planet. The pace is just breathtaking, and this chart really lays it all out. The first two carriers with their ski jumps, they're limited. A plane can only take off with so much fuel and so many weapons. But the Fujian, with its catapults, it blows those limits away. It unlocks a whole new level of power, a much more versatile and deadly air wing. And you can bet it's a huge point of national pride for them to move beyond those old Soviet-based designs. Okay, so we've talked about the tech, but what does a ship like this actually mean out there in the world? What does it change when it comes to global politics and stability in the region? Because this is about way more than just a cool piece of hardware. The magic number here is 3. Why 3? Well, for any major navy, 3 is the number you need to be a true global player. The idea is simple. You can always have one carrier out on patrol, one training and getting ready to go, and one in the shipyard for repairs. It's the recipe for projecting power 24/7 anywhere in the world. And the ripple effects from this are just huge. We're talking about the ability to operate much farther out into the Pacific. It gives them a much more formidable tool in any potential scenario involving Taiwan. It solidifies their status as a true blue water navy that can challenge the status quo. And maybe most importantly, it's a giant billboard advertising a shipping industry that is now building modern warships way faster than the United States.
So, the Fujian is in the water. That's a huge milestone, no doubt. But you didn't think they were stopping there, did you? Oh no, this is definitely not the finish line. China is already looking ahead to what's next for its carrier fleet. Yep, the rumor mill is already buzzing. There are reports that a fourth carrier, commonly called the Type 004, is already in the works.
And the chatter about what this next ship might be, well, that's where things get really, really interesting. So what's the next big leap? A lot of people are pointing to one thing: nuclear power. If, and it's still an if, but if this next carrier is nuclear powered, that changes everything. We're talking basically unlimited range. It wouldn't need to refuel. That would put China's carrier fleet in the same league as America's top tier of Ford-class supercarriers, a true peer. So you see, the launch of the Fujian isn't really about just one ship. It's a symbol. It's the most visible part of a massive naval buildup, and it forces all of us to ask a really big and maybe uncomfortable question. Is the era of America's unchallenged dominance on the high seas coming to an end?